common projective test. Can you name this test? Are you aware of this? So this again is a projective test, right? So projective test is a type of personality test in which you offer responses to ambiguous scenes, words, or images, right? The goal of such test is to uncover the hidden conflicts or emotions that you project onto the test with the hope that these issues can be addressed. Right. So there can be these different kinds of projective tests, or we can divide it into 5. So one is the associative technique, where you are associating that picture, the one which we just saw, right? So you are associating that picture to something, right? We'll go into the explanation. Completion technique, right? So you have to complete. See, it can be a story. So a statement will be given to you, and then you have to narrate a complete story around that. Fine. And constructive techniques, right? Where you need to construct. Then choice and ordering techniques, where you need to choose the option, like prioritize 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. Then expressive technique, right? So expressive technique is when you have to see one image will be there, right? And you have to express your thoughts on that particular image. There will be around like few questions will be there, like 50, 60 questions will be there, and you will be answering to all those questions, and that will give an insight, right, to the thought process. Okay, but these all are projective techniques, takes lot of time, and see, again, we have to be very specific, and we cannot use all these when you are recruiting. Fine, because analyzing each thing will take a lot of time. Fine, right? And you should be like that expert while you do this. So the one which we discussed was Rorschach's ink blot test. Now you remember? So the test is very frequently used by the expert for the purpose of projective test. So in this test, there are various ink blots which are plotted symmetrically. The person is asked what they are seeing in these ink blots, like in these blots, like, and you have to answer to that, right? We'll be doing this in a while. Okay. So they get various responses from this test, which are analyzed, keeping in mind various parameters. So the experts check what time was taken to respond. Okay. And then what the person said about that, about the ink blots, which was the most important aspect that was touched upon, right? So similar to this Rorschach's, there is Holzman's test as well. So here also images used for respondent are much more compared to the above test. The major difference is in this is between the two tests is that in this particular test, in this one, the object scoring is more important. The expert actually check the reaction time. So how like soon you reply to that, the time you take, right, to answer to one ink blot. That is also considered in this Holzman test. All right. And but we have the fourth module, fourth module on this, right? So there we'll be discussing more about the same, and we'll try to see again, see what all different cards will be there. So this test is another well-known test. It is more popularly known as TAT. In this type of test, the individual is asked to look at various scenes which are ambiguous, right? So like this. The respondent is given time to analyze the scenes and also to understand different aspects of the picture or the scene, right? So we'll discuss more about this later. Then there can be behavioral test. So the respondent will be asked to provide information about what type of picture is shown. Again, the picture will be there. What are the characters present? What are the emotions present in these characters? Or can you also ask what will happen further, right? So the experts check these responses and come to a conclusion and thus understand the frame of mind of a person. And again, this will be, see again, it will be theoretical. Yep. Graphology is a skill of handwriting. So you can, by looking at the handwriting, fine, understand the personality of the individual. Okay. And they will be like specialists who can read all these. Right. So there is a different, we can say this science altogether, which talks about this handwriting analysis. So which the experts can understand your nature and physical characteristics. So when the respondents write, see, you can respond or you can lie in any of the tests, you can give wrong responses. But see, this one, you cannot lie, right? You don't, because you don't know what the analysis will say. So by just looking at the handwriting, doing the analysis, we can get to know the, right, that what the individual's personality is actually, the nature, the physical characteristics. So when the respondents write, the experts can easily understand the state of mind in which the person is at. Besides this, they can also analyze the personality traits of the person, right? But again, this is like a detailed information about this, right? So we will just look at that. This is also one science which is there and which can be used, right? This as well. But we definitely need some specialist for like this. Okay, then comes the next one, which says sentence completion test. So this test, as the name suggests, needs the respondent to complete certain sentences. This has to be done in their own words. So when the respondent completes the sentences, it reveals the conscious and unconscious attitudes of the person, beliefs, and motivation. So the person could be in any state of mind completing the sentences. This will show in this test, thus providing the expertise to evaluate the nature and state of mind of the person. Right? So definitely this will help us know that what is the present state of mind of the person. Right? So if someone is happy, the answers will change. And the same, like if the person is sad, right, stressed, then the answers will change, right? So again, it will tell us that present state of mind of the person. This is a sentence. Again, this will be quite subjective, right? This projected test completely depends upon your imagination. So as the name goes, here you need to draw a person, and that image is then analyzed by the test interpreter. The examiner, by analyzing the image, looks for a few factors like size of particular body parts, the detail is given to the figure, overall shape of the image, right? So as per the examiner, it is the image that helps you understand the psychological conditions of the person who has undergone the test. And if there are more explanation in this as well. So whatever you have just drawn, analyze it yourself, fine. So here the test taker draws a person and the image, okay, is created, is then assessed by the examiner. So to score the test interpreter might look at a number of factors. These may include the size of the particular body parts of the body or features, the level of a detail given to the figure, as well as the overall shape of the drawing, right? So like other projective tests, the draw a person test has been criticized for its lack of validity. So a test interpreter might suggest that certain aspects of the drawing are indicative of particular psychological tendencies. However, it might simply mean that the individual has poor drawing skills. The test has been used as a measure of intelligence in children, but research comparing scores on the Pace-Scaler preschool and primary scale of intelligence to draw a person test found a very low correlation between the two scores, right? So this test has been criticized, but we should know that what are the different kinds of tests, right? So if you can just share, you can click and share in the chat box, that will be great. Or if you can just analyze it, right? So what it says, arms in hand, omitted, represent a complete withdrawal from the environment. So if a male omits a female's hand, this is unaccepted by females or lack of confidence in social context. And fingers, right? Too long may mean the person is overly aggressive. Too short means they are reserved. Fine. And see, there are chances that we don't make the fingers at all, right? Have you have made the fingers? So often not included in drawings because of shoes, but if they are, it is a sign of aggression, which, yeah. So if a female shows painted toenails, they may have heightened female aggression, right? So if you are making the fingers or the toe, which represent the aggression. So again, see, this is something we cannot ask the candidate to draw a picture and then analyze, right? But this is one of the tests. So that's why we are understanding this. Got it? So we'll not be asking them draw a person and then we will select you on the basis of this, as we have just discussed that it's been criticized, right? So if someone don't know how to draw, then definitely not be able to. If someone is drawing very, like if someone is an artist, then he'll be able to draw a very nice person, right?